So I've been wanting to change the suspension from my Hennessy 4-season expedition hammock for a little while. I can do the figure of 8 knotting thing, but I just don't find it very easy to then do all the little adjustments and the shifting of bits and bobs that you need to do. And I've tried various other things like the old, what do you call these things? Let me just, these hooky daisy hoops things, and they're okay, but because of the size of the hoops, you end up with a probably distance about this size that it's moving in between if you try and hook that with carabiner. And the daisy chains, and it's quite a lot of weight as well on that. I've also tried the other system with the standard tree straps, and these rappel rings and another carabiner, and putting the rope between the two of them, feeding it back through one and cinching it. And that works, but I'm still not sure. I'm not getting slippage because in the morning I'm lower down on the floor, and that just doesn't feel right. So it's time to make the change and take these ropes out. Oh yeah, I've been putting it off for quite a while, trying other things, but now it's the time. So it feels quite a scary prospect. But so I've done side number 1 off camera because I was too busy concentrating really on replacing it and getting things right and all the rest of it. So I thought it would be useful probably for people to see how easy it is. That's probably an error saying it's easy, because probably side 2 won't be. But I've now got, ta-da! I've got this much rope that I've taken off side 1, and if I swizz things round, you'll be able to see what I've managed to do on side 1. So side 1 of my hammock now looks like this. Ta-da! It's all parceled back up again. And it has a continuous loop and a cinch buckle. And this cinch buckle works with my new beeline threads on it, my tree straps. I might have to do a separate thing about that. But that's on there. That's on there, buddy. So I'm going to try and do the... I'll stop this now and I'll come back. Because I think we need to turn the camera around. Okay, so this is what we've got at the minute, the old line with, I've got I've got a little drip line, and I've got a prusik knot here with the clip that holds the tarp. So I'd kind of like to hold on to that. So I think what I might do is actually slide that knot off. I'm going to undo this one here, and then I'm going to just slide this knot, because I haven't yet learned how to tie prusik knots. So I'm just going to undo this bit of string, and I'm going to use that to slide the knot off and keep it, because this is what I've managed to do on this side, and kind of keep the prusik knot. I know everybody will say, oh, they're really easy. But when you don't know things, they're not easy. So when you do, I'm sure they are. So that's what I'm going to do first of all, is just untie the clippy thing for my tarp and undo to this bit. So I'll just stop. So the next thing is to whittle the scissors in here. Just wiggle them in and see if I can get this little zip thingy to snip without snipping any of the material. Can you see that? Yep, I think so. So we can now pull it through. And that's it. Just that little zip tie thingy. That goes off. And then when I untie it, the videos that I'd seen all mentioned where the ridgeline was attached. But what I've noticed on mine is actually the ridgeline is really tight and appears to be sewn in here. So there is no ridgeline here. It's just this one knot thing attached to 2 loops. I don't know if you can see that. It's just like 2 loops and a couple of knots here. I want to take some pictures of that, so if I do want to put it back on, I can. But it appears that all this sewing is attaching the ridgeline in. So I don't even have to think about that. So that's a really good thing. I'm just going to see what I can do in terms of wiggling this knot. Pardon me. Yeah, wiggle. You've got to wiggle it, wiggle it. That's the one. Untying. It's just a case of following it round, really, I think. And then it just falls out here. And there's nothing attached on there. So that gives me, I can throw that bit away. And now I can take my continuous loop, the fat bit. I'm sure it's got some name, this fat bit here. But I'm just going to call it the fat bit. I'm going to poke the fat bit through. This is obviously highly technical. Yeah, I poke the fat end through like that. And then that bit through there. And just a lark's head hitch. Lark's head hitch. Just poke it through and just make it tight. Nice and tight. And that's it. There is no ridgeline to keep stable because it's already sewn in. There's nothing there else to do. I don't think there's anything more really than just doing that bit. And then all I have to do, I think, is take this bit off here and wiggle it again. Wiggle it all the way through here. So, as you can see, I've got a red bit for the head end, red for head, and I've got blacky grey, because that goes with my colour scheme, and I am a woman after all. These things are important. Ah, nice. So, yeah, grey for the other end, for my foot end. And I'm going to wiggle that back on. Put one of these, what do you call them, clip things back in here. What do you call these? Zip ties. I got them from home base, I think. A few quid for a pocket full. That's going to go in there. Clip it round. Nail file the end so it's not rough. And Bob's your uncle, really. Fanny's your granny. The only bits that's tricky here appears to be the wiggling, really. I think I'll try and get the seam at the bottom. And the little bits of fluff that keep coming from somewhere, I don't know. I don't think you need me to see me put zip ties in. I think you can probably work that bit out. I don't think this is going to be complicated. Nope. Poke it in. Poke it round. Job's a good one. Thread it through. Just check everything's nice and tight. Appears to be. Tighten it off. It's only for looks anyway. It's not functional, this bit at all. Really nice and tight. Again, try not to cut yourself or other things. And then I'm just going to give it a bit of a nail file, so I don't get anything caught on that. And that appears to be it, really. I'll put my cinch buckles on this end. Yeah. Right, so I've got my continuous loop. I've got my cinch buckle, and I'm going to try and thread it through 3 times. So that's once, and I'm just opening it up a bit. And I'm going to go round, back through. So I've got 2 there. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to go round. So 2. So this is the 3rd time round. On the 3rd time, I'm going to take it which way around. So yep, that was right. Just cinch buckles on and attaching to my new tree strap. Great. All replaced.